Ooh, baby. I like it raw. What's up? Gonna do a little bit of... I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm playing more wizard today. Sorry, mage. All right. Hey, how's it going? No, I just spawned in. I was there yesterday when I left. Yeah. All right, take it easy, man. Yeah. Well, that's cool. 20 hours in game now. Now, what part of the city am I? Ooh, I see. So, that's the one. So, I also learned something pretty cool. I don't know the specifics of it too much because I haven't spent a whole lot of time reading up on it. I discovered that in the basement of your house, when you put a potion in here, it ages the potion. I don't really know what that means. I don't know if it increases the output of it or what. And I love that feature when you put stuff in the chest that it goes on the shelf. Kind of curious. Oh, that is so cool. You can actually pick kind of where you want it. Let's move that one up. Looking good, potions. Looking good. Anyway, so I hope that those do indeed have some merit. Is this just a regular chest? What is this chest for? Most of the chests have some kind of identification as to what you can put in them. This one does not. I assume this is going to be for some kind of a quest or something. Anyways, to-do list today. I have a couple more fish I need to catch, and then that will let me complete this, which is the main quest, and move on with that. And then hopefully I'll be into the jungle today. What is that sound? Is it that? What the fuck? Hang on a second. That was strange. It was straight up like thunder and lightning outside. But then I went out and it was like done. I need monster teeth apparently. And I know that they're super common later on, but I just am not getting any right now. So I think I might just go spend way too much money and buy one so I can maybe catch some green-bellied bass. Though I do know that you can catch them with the regular lure. I think this guy had some. 100. Jesus. Okay. So, if I am recalling correctly, this one is teeth and tongue, I think. I want to say it's teeth and tongue to catch those bass. So I'll try that. Really hope that's correct. There we go. Finish fishing lure. I don't know which one this is. Lesser eye, small tongue, lesser eye, small tongue, lesser eye, small tongue, small tongue, small tooth. That's the one I want. Cool. And I should probably clean my inventory out a little bit, but whatever. You know what I am gonna do is put the bow stuff in here for now. Seeing as I have not done anything with Ranger, and I don't know if I'm gonna do it today. Yeah, it looks good. All right, let's catch some fish. Hopefully very quickly. Jesus. I am at the end of my leash. Well, usually it's pretty busy out here. And it is quite dead. Come on, fishies. I'm just hoping with this choice of lure, I don't end up catching sunfish as well. I've caught so many sunfish. I'm pretty well good on them now. I think even if I were to make a bunch more health potions, I'm still pretty well good on them. Oh, yeah. I might have to move around a little bit. I'm still kind of unclear with the fishing. I think from what I understand, the fish apparently like move in schools. So I think if you're not catching anything, you move, and then when you do catch things, you'll like keep catching things. So I don't know how accurate that is. I hope I didn't mess up and that this lure was supposed to be teeth and eye. There's something. Hey, I must be correct. Thank you, Poca Grandma. I've always got little improvements that need to be made, but overall, I'm pretty happy with the way things are set up right now. Gives everybody a pretty good view of what I'm seeing in game versus what my head's doing in relation to my hands and my surroundings, and then the overall view. I think I'm kind of debating putting in a mic for just sort of like broad spectrum area mic instead of just the mic on the headset. But other than that, I'm pretty happy. But if you've got any suggestions, let me know. And if you got any questions about the game, I am all ears. The fishing in this game is actually quite good. It can be a little bit, when it's like part of a quest, it can feel like a little bit of a slog just because you want to, get on with doing actual hero stuff. But the mechanics of it are pretty good. You can't hear it really, but there's a click that happens in the controllers for both the reeling and when you get a fish on the line, it kind of does a little buzz, a little tactile feedback like that. And as you can see with the line, it turns red as you're reeling. So as long as you don't reel for too long, it'll your line won't break. But if you go really hard, it'll break. And as soon as I finish reeling this in, I will check what you just said. Sunfish. Yeah, honestly, if you like, classic styled MMORPGs, I mean, obviously you can see there's a guy fishing over there. There's people kind of all around. It's very much like, I know the comparison's been made a lot in Steam reviews and stuff, but it does very much remind me of the old school breed of MMORPGs, kind of like your 2005 to 2009 era, which isn't really that old school, to be honest. But yeah, it's got a lot of great elements to it. If you go back through my past broadcasts over the past week, I've been playing it, and basically every stream I've been doing a different class. Though the last couple streams I've been doing mage class, which is quite complex, probably the most complex magic system I've seen in a game. But once you do successfully get a spell, it is incredibly satisfying. So yeah, I mean, I highly recommend this game. It is awesome. As a total RPG nerd, this is like, it is early access, and it is an indie developer, but overall, the quality that they've put out for an indie game with a scope as big as they're aiming for, awesome. I'm finished that quest. So one of the mechanics that I didn't know about when I first was looking at this game, so you can see that it says I'm level 3. I'm actually a level 3 fisherman. If I equip my wand, you can see that I'm a level 6 mage, and it doesn't let me zoom down, but I'm wearing mage gear. If I equip my sword, I am a level 6 warrior, and you can see the bar changes as I move that. And I'm also a musketeer class, only level 5 in that one. So I think that's a cool feature about subclassing. You can basically just change your subclass whenever you want. As an example, the spell system, let's kind of get up here a little bit. The spell system has all kinds of spells, ranging from simple-ish to a little bit more complex. I don't know if I'm actually going to successfully get this one. It's a pretty difficult spell to draw out. And then you do a 3D line out the back of it and across. There we go. So this is a higher level version of the spell that I just cast. Then you've got all kinds of different. Let's see if I can get this one. It's a little bit tricky and finicky. But yeah, if you do like RPGs and you like social games, this is about as good as it gets in VR, in my opinion. I keep failing that spell, by the way, so I'm not doing it. Yeah, and I mean, like the sword play mechanics are quite good. So that's basically how the mage class works. I'll show you the musketeer here real quick. So as you can see, I have this string of orbs down here. So when I equip my musket, you'll see slowly over time, other orbs will spawn back in, and so they each have an effect. Like you put that into the end of the gun, that's how you get your special effect shot. This one's a freezing one, I believe. I think this one is some kind of like a curse type one. Poison. What else was in there? Oh, there's a healing well one. That's this one. So that one's an AoE healing spell. So you can play Musketeer as both a support class and an offensive class. Then you got your sword and board, pretty classic. Throw your shield in down there. So then you got your sword, which the sword play in this game feels awesome. And then you got your shield. And one of the cool elements of this game with the sword and shield, hopefully I won't just insta-kill this thing, but so you've got your standard, like, whatever attacks. You've also got shield bash that you physically do and it stuns them. And then you have combos that you can, I can't remember because I haven't played this class in a little while, but they give crit damage based on, what's my health at? I better kill this thing. They give crit damage based on completing them. Anyway, so yeah, that's like the basics of it. There's also the bow, which I think right when you tuned in, I was taking it out of my inventory there. Definitely some improvements could be made with the magic. The magic, I talk about it pretty extensively yesterday. But yeah, travel. You've got your teleport. You can also turn on, where is it? Teleport plus slide. I don't know why it's auto running me there. But yeah, it's not bad. You can set it to be controller based. I don't know why it's doing. Oh, I see. It's based on head gaze right now. So you can set it to be either controller or head gazed. This one is controller direction. So just touching the thumb pad will give you movement. You can also teleport. Personally, I just teleport because it's easier and it's less cumbersome. And when you're in combat, especially with spell casting, you'd be like this, which doesn't really work that great. And up until the last patch, or possibly the one before, the regular locomotion basically gave me a little bit of extra frame juddering, which wasn't great. I've got a pretty good setup, and I mean the game's not awesome for optimization, but it's not bad. It's quite weird. So right now it seems actually quite dead in here. Generally speaking, there's usually a lot more people hanging out in here. I'm going to see if I can get that. It's a spell for fireworks that I just was finally able to get yesterday. And by get, I mean like successfully do it. There it is. I think. Yeah. It went a little bit wonky. So one of the things with spellcasting that's a little bit interesting with this game, um, if you manage to like critically get a spell like that. Nope. Nope. It'll give a little burst if you get it correct, though. Somebody's mother yelling at them. But yeah, if you get a crit on the spell, I'll just try and get one here just so you can see. It'll give a burst of light, which there. It means the spell is going to be a little bit more, do a little bit more damage, or possibly be a little bit more accurate. I'm still trying to clarify on that one. The world itself is pretty solid. You've got it seems kind of sparse, but I think that's something that'll get added, over time. Obviously, it's night right now, so you can't see as much of the world. The day-night cycle in this game is incredibly long, and it'll probably be like, I don't know, half an hour before it's even, bright out again in here. NPCs, when you want to get their attention, you go and you wave to them. This guy has nothing to say. They'll have a little dialogue box up above their head if they do. Yeah, I don't know. It's just really fun. Where am I heading? Guild City. These the enemies in the game are seemingly somewhat scaled by area, but I don't really know. I don't really know like if your player level affects the level of enemies as you move into areas. I think they're all kind of level capped based on the area they're in. But I do know that like when I was in that early area, that like Fox didn't attack me, obviously because I'm over leveled. If you're not over leveled, everything's hostile. So I have to imagine that the enemies have a set level per area. And it is pretty easy to get super overpowered by regular run of the mill enemies. There's a pretty strong chance fighting these things I'm going to die because I'm not practiced up in casting today. So let's start with something pretty potent. And the spells are all based on memory, which is pretty interesting. Shit. There we go. Come on. Yeah. Oh, shit. This Ice Lance is like one of the hardest ones for me to consistently get. I'm probably going to die just trying to cast this. This is why Mage is a really hard class to play. I'm going to die. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Yeah. There's no penalties XP-wise, but you'll see it says I'm level 1. The reason for that is my stuff is broked. So in that case, you go over, wave at an apprentice smith. They pop up a thing for you. Prepare your gear. Yes. And I get my wand back. And I don't have anything that I can break down, but so when you go to sell stuff, like say I was like, oh, I want to sell my sword here, it like won't let you. And normally you can, pop something in there like that. The reason for that is when you break down armor and weapons and things like that, they will give you, hey, how's it going? Pretty good, I guess. They'll give you these shards, and then you can sell those shards. But the shards can also I think, be used as an upgrade material, though I have not gotten to the point in the game where I understand how to do that yet, so there's a wolf chasing someone, or Borg, I should say. But yeah, I think this game's just gonna kinda keep getting better with every update they put out, whether it be content or, window dressings or whatever. Right now, there's world bosses, a raid. The next update's adding more of that kind of content, end game content. Um, there's a fairly solid quest chain in the game right now. Hey, look, it's my grave. That's an NPC right there. Oh my god. Hey, how's it going? Good. Oh no. Help me, NPC. I'm trying to get this combo. That. Come on. Come on. There it is. Ice Lance. So the Ice Lance is cool because it does. I don't need to worry about that NPC. He'll be fine. The Ice Lance is awesome because it's does more damage when a target's frozen already. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, no problem. I honestly, it's one of those games. It'll take you a while to really get into it and learn it. I mean, there's lots of, like any true RPG, you're gonna have a lot of little mechanics and stuff that take a while to learn. And to like realistically, if you're playing one class, like I've been playing basically like 3 or 4 hours per session, and then each one of those sessions, I was basically yeah, I better check my journal. Sorry. I'm not sure if I actually just need to come back to this guy or not. Nope. So all that walking I just did was basically for nothing, but that's okay. Um, but yeah, each one of those 3 or 4 hour sessions I did gave me basically the majority of my understanding of how to like play the game. Like I wasn't confused by the end of that. There's a few odd things that you're confused about, like, oh, what does like what does Queen's ear look like out in the wild? Because for a health potion, I look here and I've got a recipe for a health potion. And I need Queen's ear and I need Rotospore. So Rotospore, it ends up looking like one of those mushrooms sitting in the grass. But what does Queen's ear look like? And it's oddly enough kind of like that. But yeah, so kind of figuring out what stuff looks like in the wild was probably one of the more challenging elements. But I'm pretty sure I need to talk this shit. You. Cool. So now my journal should be updated because I got what I needed. Mm-hmm. Now I literally need to go back to where it just was. I don't know. So there's an airship in game. I don't know if you need to pay to use it normally. but the airship's not here anyways. But that is a quicker way of traveling from place to place. There is also teleport spells, but I am not great at doing them. The teleport spells and the resurrection spells are super complex. Like you can kind of see now how like that's the main town that you start in, and you can kind of see now like must have just been the time change, like the going from people in say the UK playing to people on the East Coast to people on the West Coast or whatever playing. Um, but that town sometimes when you're in there, it's like super busy, like to the point that it doesn't feel like a VR game. It feels like a regular MMORPG. And that's pretty cool because a lot of the social games for VR often feel dead just because of the lack of user base. And obviously, that's getting better all the time. And with all the people who got their Vives over Christmas and whatnot, it's gotten a lot better in the past couple weeks and whatnot. So, yeah, it's a fun game though. And I am currently about to continue with the main quest. Actually, one thing I didn't mention, that guy in that room was distracting me, but with the dialogue, it's actually implemented pretty well. It might be kind of hard to tell what it looks like from the stream, but basically, hey, basically it's a floating text in front of you, and if you turn, it turns with you, kind of thing. And it's at like a fixed distance, so you can step back from it or get close to it if you need to read it. And I wasn't really sure how they would do the NPC dialogue stuff when I first started playing, and I was actually pretty surprised about it. The worst thing is, I didn't actually know right away that to talk to NPCs, you had to wave at them. I thought there was like I one of the people watching my stream was like, slap him. So like jokingly. And I slapped the NPC and it worked. So but realistically that was the only thing that had worked. So I thought to talk to NPCs you just had to slap them, which I thought was a funny but somewhat weird mechanic. And it wasn't until I'm going to say a solid hour into playing where I'd been talking to a lot of NPCs that I realized it was literally just interpreting my slap as a wave. So that was quite funny. But yeah, there's not much of the stuff in the game is really handed to you. A lot of it is just interpretation based on what other MMOs do and how VR generally works. So, all right. So, for those of you who haven't been watching me stream, this guy was caught trying to assassinate a pope who I'm sort of working for. I'm working for his guard. And this guy, I've been collecting some stuff for his last meal. So